Hello there everybody and welcome back to Movie Squirm. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 film Bring Her Back, and this is directed by Michael and Danny Philippou and stars Sally Hawkins, Sora Wong, Billy Barrett and Jonah Wren Phillips. When a brother and sister lose their father in an accidental death, they are sent to live with a wacky foster parent and their new sibling, but sinister things may be at work in this household. Okay guys, so I wasn't really going to review this movie. It has been out in the US now for over a month. And I just thought, this movie's probably been spoken about all over the internet, all over YouTube and everything. But they did actually do a screen unseen at my local cinema last night for this movie. And we are in the UK. We're not getting this until the 26th of July. Which is just another conversation altogether now, isn't it? Like, why did the US get these releases before us? And vice versa, you know, if the UK get it before America, I don't think that's right. I think we should all just get it at the same damn time. But that's a video for another time. But I seen a lot of people talking about this on my social media last night after the screen unseen. I was just riding my bike to work, riding my bike home. I just couldn't stop thinking about the movie. There was so much to say about this film. And I usually do reviews with notes in front of me, you know, just so I don't forget anything. This is an off-the-cuff review. I've just come home and thought, I'm going to go and talk about this on the camera now, you know, off the top of my head. So if this review seems a little bit different to what I usually do, that is the reason for that. But let's hope it all goes smoothly. And I suppose that makes it a little bit more fun now, doesn't it? So let's get into it. First off, I just want to say Danny and Michael Philippou are real rising directing stars here in the horror genre. Talk to Me came out a couple of years ago, and I absolutely loved that movie when I went to see it. So I think they've really hit two home runs here. I mean, there's a couple of things I don't like about the movie, but this is a very unique and different approach to a horror movie that I haven't quite seen before, and it just felt very, very different, like something new and fresh, if you like. So props to them, you know, I champion them. They only came from YouTube fame and they're now directing horror movies and stuff, and they know what they're doing. They've made two bangers right now, so can't wait for their third movie. But let's just talk about Bring Her Back. First off, when we see these two characters go to this new home with their foster parent, it just doesn't seem right. Like, you are on edge very early on in this movie, kind of like the characters are when they're going to their new surroundings. And everyone wants something like this to go smoothly, don't they? It's a brand new lifestyle, a brand new change. You know, these two characters going to a brand new house after living together all their lives and in the same household with their father. But it's just not quite the lifestyle they have. I mean, when they go in this house, things seem very, very off straight away. We are introduced to Sally Hawkins, who is just absolutely off the scale in this movie. Like, I think she puts a wonderful performance in, but her really is making the whole thing feel uncomfortable, not just for the characters in the movie, but for us as a viewer as well. Like, sometimes I'll just watch a movie and go, yeah, that was fine, sort of move on, go on to the next movie. But here, I was getting all different types of emotions and feelings watching this film, thinking about myself, what I would do in that situation, because things just seem a little bit off with this Sally Hawkins character. Things that shouldn't be said, you know, that could probably be left and get said out in the open. You're kind of like, oh, this is making me feel a little bit cringe now, a little bit awkward there. And you can tell the characters in the movie are very awkward as well, but as a viewer, you're kind of just squirming in your seat. So props to Danny and Michael Philippou for making that possible in this movie. I love it when films give me different types of feelings of unease and things that kind of get under my skin a little bit, make me feel uncomfortable. But also props to Sally Hawkins as well for just being this, you know, absolutely insane character from the off. She's very, very wacky. She's very, very different. And you kind of hate her straight away as a viewer. But on the other hand, she is very over-friendly as well. So you're kind of just in two minds a little bit there. And you're very intrigued about what she's up to and where this movie is going to go with this character. I mean, the two main characters also don't really want to be rude to her, and they are just trying to be as polite as possible. So you can understand that situation, really. But I really liked these two actors, Sora Wong and Billy Barrett. They have great chemistry together as this brother and sister. They actually do feel like real life brothers and sisters, although they are half brother and sister in this movie, I think. But you can tell that Billy Barrett's character really does care for Sora Wong's character there. He's very overprotective and he doesn't want any harm to come to her. And I could really respect that character for that, because I've got a sister myself and I'm very overprotective of her. So you can really understand where he's coming from there. But Sora Wong, who is this visually impaired real life person, you know, she plays this kind of almost blind girl in this movie, and she can only feel or see things with senses and stuff. And I think she is actually, you know, exactly like that in real life. And I thought she put a wonderful performance in as this character here, and she has never acted before in her life. So that is just massive props. I think her mum just answered a Facebook advert where Danny and Michael Filippo were looking for a visually impaired actress. And she really got the job done really well, but it does add a little bit more tension in a lot of the later scenes as well, because she can't really see these things that are happening. And there's a moment where she is hurt at one point, and I was like, holy shit, man. I mean, if she weren't a blind girl, it wouldn't have worked. But there's so many little things that come into the movie that play into that character. But I really liked her personality. Like I said, I really liked the chemistry with her brother. But she's actually a very funny character as well. She's got this bubbly personality. And it was just a joy to have these two characters as our main protagonists. And you really do want them to sort of live a better life after the death of their father. And they are put into this horrible situation. Well, awkward situation, should I say. And you kind of just don't want anything to go wrong. You get behind them very early on. But the movie constantly asks questions of you. We are soon introduced to Sora Wong and Billy Barrett's new sort of sibling there. I'm really sorry, I forgot the characters' names, but I'm just going to have to go by their main sort of actor names. But they're introduced to their new sibling here, who is already living in this house with Sally Hawkins, and he seems very, very off. There's something not right with this kid, and he is kind of in the background for a little bit and then sort of comes to the forefront halfway through the movie. But this film constantly asks questions of you. You're constantly guessing what the hell is going on with this Sally Hawkins character, with this young kid that she's got, how this is all going to play out. Michael and Danny Philippou throw little hints here and there to make you sort of guess what's going on, and you are constantly thrown left to right. And when it was all said and done, I didn't guess what was going on, even though my smart movie brain thought I knew what was going on. So yeah, it's just a puzzle that you're really always trying to put together, and I love it when movies do that. You know, they've given me a feeling of unease, but they've really got me invested in the story to see what is happening here. It's a very well put together film. I mean, it's just a constant thrill ride. You're up and down, you're getting all these mixed emotions and everything. And I do think this is a film, when it was all said and done, that may benefit on a rewatch, kind of like the movie Hereditary. Once you know the end, you can sort of watch it again and piece it all, see all the pieces coming together and see how each scene is built very well, masterfully, really, in that movie, in my opinion. But I think on a rewatch, you know, you could even benefit more from this. The only problem with that, it's a very dark and depraved film. So I don't know how many rewatches are going to take place with this movie, because it might be a few years before I revisit this again. But I am very intrigued to go back and just see it all come together by knowing the ending. Yeah, that's a little bit of a minor negative, I suppose. Like, it's not going to be calling me back all the time. But one thing that is a massive positive is the gore in this movie. My God, there is so many scenes where I was just like, oh my God. Like, it's not really... I'm not really a type of a horror fan who will look away from the screen or wince. Saw X was probably the last movie to do that, where that woman had to saw her own leg off. I was going into that a little bit in the cinema, but since then, no movie has really done that. But here, on more than one occasion, I was like, oh my God, you can feel the kind of phantom pain there. You're just wincing at the screen going, oh my God, this character is going through so much sort of pain and hell here. How the hell is this happening? And the movie does really well to, you know, put the gore and the violence on screen. It doesn't shy away or anything, and none of it's off screen. It's right in your face. And as a horror fan, a gore hound, I friggin' love all that. So yeah, I got invested in the story, trying to build it all up. I felt awkward with Sally Hawkins' character and everything, but I also felt very uneasy with the gore and winced away. So this movie had me feeling all different kinds of things. Now, my only problem with the movie really is, unfortunately, the reveal in the last 15 minutes. Look, it's a good reveal, I think, and the movie is really doing lots of social commentary on grief and how people deal with grief, and that's all great. But after this sort of master plan that was coming together, it seemed, I just feel like I've would have liked a little bit of a better reveal there, but it's still good. It's just not amazing, put it that way. It's not a great ending. It's a good ending. So yeah, that was the only sort of negative I had there. And it's just a very interesting and unique movie. So I highly recommend, guys, that you go and check this one out. Okay, guys, I'm just going to end this review here. Like I said, it was a bit of an off-the-cuff review, but it's time to rate this movie. And I'm going to give Bring Her Back an 8 out of 10. One of the best horror movies of this year. And, you know, a second home run there for Danny and Michael Philippou. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what they do next. Good luck to them in their future horror movie directing, streets, avenues, whatever they go down there. And, yeah, I know they're meant to do a Street Fighter movie. I don't know how that's going to play out, but even if it is that and it's not a horror film, I would love to see that as a big Street Fighter fan. So, yeah, props to them. I want to champion them and be looking out for everything they do from now on. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best horror movies of the year so far. Okay, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this little off-the-cuff review. If you want more 2025 horror movie reviews, I'll leave them in the link down below. What did you think of Bring Her Back? Please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if horror is your sort of thing. Thanks so much, guys. You take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.